This is Earth, your home planet, assuming you are a human who was born between 288,000 BCE and 2022 CE. Who knows, maybe next year someone will be born on Mars. Impossible to know. Anyway, that's not the point. This extraordinary planet currently has a population of roughly 8 billion people, and every single one of them needs somewhere to live on this soggy, wet rock. With a surface area of 196.9 million square miles, it seems like there's plenty of space for everyone. However, 71% of that surface area is literal ocean, leaving us with 57 million square miles of land. Still a lot of space, right? Yeah, but 33% of that is desert, 27% is mountains, and 15% is tundra. All are undoubtedly beautiful regions of our planet, but not exactly ideal for comfortable human living. So we're left with 14.25 million square miles of livable land. Even so, that's like the size of 2.5 Russias. Huge, right? Well, if you were to give every person on Earth 500 square feet of land, which is only about 0.01 acres, this complex would take up 757.57 million square miles. So yeah. However, we're in luck. Humanity has already figured out a solution to this problem. They call it a city. This way, everyone can live on top of one another in order to save space. Actually, that sounds kind of awful now that I've defined it. But the truth is, cities offer many more benefits than simply saving space. They allow more people access to different resources, stimulate collaboration, allow for more time for individuals to focus on their passions, make healthcare more accessible, and overall make life easier. At least they're supposed to. Urban regions can have quite a few drawbacks. As urbanization has flourished, more and more people have congregated in cities. 76% of people globally live in either urban or suburban regions of the world. Most of these people are here for job opportunities. With so many people competing for better jobs and positions, one is often encouraged to overwork themselves. This can cause an unbelievable amount of stress. Along with this, a study by the American Psychology Association stated that fewer people in urban settings feel they are doing enough to manage their stress compared to those in the suburbs or rural areas. Similarly, they stated that people living in urban areas are more likely than those living in rural areas to cite work as a source of stress. So, mentally, the urban population is feeling strained. On the other hand, the physical health of urban citizens seems to be higher than the physical health of those living in rural areas. Adults living in rural areas tend to be more overweight. The Journal of Rural Health hypothesized that this is due to the evolving nature of that lifestyle. What once used to be a physically rigorous lifestyle of farming and similar tasks has become a career aided by technology which eliminates the necessity of much of the physical labor of the past. You obviously could choose to do all that physical labor yourself, like farmers historically have, but that wouldn't be nearly as efficient, and since farming is a market of competition, just like any other, you would most likely get beat out pretty quickly, and then you'd be out of a job, and that would suck. Regardless, people living in dense urban areas are often much closer in proximity to the locations where they work or visit, allowing for walking or cycling as an easy form of commuting. This not only saves money, it's also carbon emission free, but also reinforces physical health. Speaking of commuting, if you've ever been to Europe, you'll notice that cities there are much more pedestrian friendly than many of the cities in North America. This is due to when the city experienced its most prominent growth and development. Most cities in Europe were developed before the introduction of the automobile, while many cities in the United States and Canada grew during or after the boom of the automobile industry. This greatly affects the structures and layout of these cities, since the goal is for them to be as accessible as possible. American cities like Chicago and Los Angeles are extremely grid-based to accommodate the usage of automobiles, but cities like Paris, London, and Tokyo are designed like webs spreading out from the city center, allowing direct access to the same necessities from virtually anywhere in the city. Amsterdam is often hailed as the holy grail of urban design due to its incredible bike-friendly layout. Amsterdam's geography, however, is very flat and therefore is at an advantage given that its citizens are not required to cycle up or down any extreme topography. Geography also greatly impacts the layout of port cities. New York City and Sydney, Australia are prime examples of this. Neither are particularly poor designs, but they are challenged by the shape of the land and as a result have evolved to follow a very abstract shape. Los Angeles is just a mess. One of the main reasons for this is the rate at which it grew. It's essentially a giant suburb with a comparatively minuscule downtown. There's also essentially only one main drag connecting all of it, leading to plenty of traffic problems. It is one of the least accessible cities on Earth, even if you have a car. Here's a closer look. You. With cities that grow as fast as Los Angeles, consideration for the environment is almost entirely overlooked in order to serve the needs of a surging population as quickly as possible. This is yet another large problem in past instances of urban sprawl. I know I keep throwing Los Angeles under the bus, but they've just done an awful job at designing a city. The Los Angeles River is no longer a natural body of water. It's a concrete canal that is almost completely incapable of harboring any life anymore. A river disrespectfully mummified by manifest destiny. Regardless, natural structures like the LA River must be considered when designing a city if it is to be considered healthy. For cities that have already done this, the incorporation of parks and other green spaces is an effort that can help to bring nature back into the structure we've hastily designed. Most cities already help to reduce the carbon emissions produced by our population, but much more work could be done. We also know that this is extremely attainable. In the height of the coronavirus pandemic in March of 2020, Los Angeles underwent a visible change. Once everyone was sent home during the nationwide lockdown, the smog from all the driving that occurred previous to the pandemic lifted after only a few weeks. The clearing of the Los Angeles sky is a prominent example of the carbon emissions that the city produces every day due to travel by car. Cities like France, London, and Amsterdam all have systematic and timely public transit that is notably safer and more punctual than automobile travel. Accidents are extremely rare, and users of public transit save a lot more money since they pay for a ticket instead of gas, insurance, repairs, and the initial price of a car. We have a lot to learn from all the urban sprawl that has occurred. Urban living offers many benefits to us as a species, from collaboration to physical health to access to resources to being able to chase our dreams. We have plenty of things to work to improve, though. We need to continue to create work cultures that allow for more time off and awareness of employee mental health while maintaining competition and economic improvement. We also need urban planners to look at how other cities have grown and put in place layouts that will be able to grow with a predicted future population. We are a species of growth, and that includes growing alongside the natural processes of our planet instead of against them. I am confident that urban living will improve if these aspects are acknowledged